Right, so this might look familiar. Basically, I was here like 2 months ago for a no cooling service call, and basically it's got no gas and it was cutting out on LP. But what happened was I got called here, and the very first thing that I noticed was that the return air filter was absolutely chockers. Like, I can't stress that enough. The grill and the filter were so chockers, so blocked. So I took the grill out, cleaned the grill, and replaced the filter media straight away. Put that back in, and then came out here, put my gauges on, found that it had absolutely no gas, and then did a pressure test and found that it was leaking gas out of the bottom of the compressor. So what's happened is the bottom of the compressor and the suction accumulator are totally rusted out, and I believe that is due to a mixture of things, to be honest. One, it's pretty old. It's an old R22 unit, and we're pretty close to salt water. But also, this filter was so blocked, this would have definitely been flooding back, and the base of that unit, of the compressor, would have been literally ice at some time. So yeah, I just think a little bit of neglect, a little bit of age, and just the location have all contributed to the base rusting out. So it's an old system, it's going to be an expensive repair. So I obviously recommended just replacing the whole unit, but that wasn't in the customer's budget, which I totally understand. She's decided just to get this repaired, so that's what I'm here to do today. So I'm going to give this thing a full overhaul. As you can see, it's literally completely rusted out. So it runs on R22 with mineral oil. Alright, so the compressor is out. I've cleaned inside here. I have cleaned up. So what I do personally is I just like cut the pipes with my tube cutters, get everything out, and then I get the oxyacetylene in there to just get the little stubs off the end. I just find it's easier, just get my pliers and take it off without the compressor still attached. And then after that, yeah, just clean everything up, clean the pipe up. So everywhere where I need to do a solder joint, I've cleaned the pipe up. So now we just gotta get this in there, solder it up. That just goes into that. But the base of this thing is totally fine. Everywhere on the cabinet, there's no signs of rust whatsoever. That's why I was saying before, I feel that this was largely caused by it flooding back because the filters never got cleaned. So I honestly think this could have been avoided if you just did regular maintenance. At the very least, clean the filters. So I've come across this model many times in the same suburbs, and it's not like what I saw. So I know we're somewhat close to the coast, but I honestly just think this would have been just like a block of ice most of the time. So yeah, just like for the people that aren't aircon techs, just clean your filters regularly, and at the very least. But I'm happy that everything's fine, solid, which is good. So anyway, I'm going to get this in, solder it, get it in position, whatever. Whilst I've got everything open, I'm going to take the strainer out. I'm going to go inside, take the strainer out. I'm going to have a look at the indoor coil, make sure that's not chockers. Just basically once I've taken the strainers out and got everything soldered, I can vac it. But I need to go to Actron and get a dryer, a filter dryer. I didn't know if it was a 1/2 inch or 3/8 liquid line. So I was just like, I'm so close to Actron, I'm like, I'll just come here, check it, and then I'll go. So get everything in, I'll do the dryer last. Right, so I've just had a bit of a thought, and when I come across these units, one of the things that I find pretty common on these older units is these fittings that are only required when you install it for the first time, or if you want to pump it down and move this thing, which that absolutely won't be happening. So these aren't required anymore, but all the rubbers in them leak, and I've seen many of these leak after like a 20-year period or something. But like, whilst we're doing a big repair, I'm just getting rid of that. I'm also getting rid of the liquid line one as well. So basically getting rid of the things that I've seen fail so it doesn't happen. Anyway, that goes there. I'm getting rid of that join. This is hard with one hand. That's the strainer. Fuck that off. That goes there, and I'm just gonna get a new piece. And that way we get rid of all these things that can leak. Especially when they don't do anything. So I carry pipe in the car with me. I've got 7/8 pipe, I've got 3/8 pipe. So if I got it, may as well just cut it out. It takes like 5 minutes longer, and it's just peace of mind for the future. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so these are out. So, like I said, that's out because they leak. That's out because they leak. Did that purely just in case. Like, I only want to take this apart once and whatever. So, I want this repair to last for a long time. So, anyway, now it's time for the compressor to go in. That's all done. That's all done. And yeah, so I'll go get the compressor and bring it in. I've been to Actron, got a Biflow 3/8 dryer I'm going to put here. Sweet. Alright, so filter dryer is in. Sweet. Everything's ready to go out here. It's officially done. I just need to go and take the strainer out on the indoor unit. So that's the return air filter. Like that grill is clean and there's a brand new filter in it. But that was chockers. Anyway, it's already done. Alright, so this is all done. I've just been in the roof. I've taken the strainer out upstairs. I also saw that the drain was running 20mm electrical conduit with a little pigtail, and I'm like, considering how dirty the filter was, that's definitely blocked. So I ended up just cutting that out, unblocking it, gluing it back in, and like purging the drain. But anyway, I'm just going to give it a pressure test because I don't know a lot of welds, or solder joints I should say, not weld. Done a lot of soldering. Right, it's a lot of pressure. It all seems good. I'll put some bubbles on there. I'm going to go on the roof, just put some bubbles around that, but in the roof, and then I'll close that up. I'll come back down and check all this, and I'll put it on vac. Needs a new shirt up. No worries. Anyway, it's all good. I'll get this thing on, change the shoulder, get this thing on vac. I'm someone that likes to have my van like fully stocked up, because whenever I don't have something and I need it, like for example, if you run out of nitro, make sure you get new nitro, or if you run out of something, make sure you get some stuff. Anyway, I need new schroeder pins. I went to Actron and I forgot to get them. It's like, sure enough, the one thing I don't replace is leaking. It's all good because I got 2 pack of these that I can take it out of, but it's just Murphy's Law. Anyway, I'll put these in now and I'll get it on back. Alright, so it needs 4.7 kilos. Mineral oil. It's the same oil. Mineral oil. Crazy. I literally think I had pretty much 4.7 kilos just in this bottle. Come on, come on. Anyway, that's all I got in that bottle. Alright, so that fan feels like it's doing fuck all. This one's ripping and tearing. So we'll take note of that. And then we'll go to the pressures. So we are at a suction pressure of like 420 or something. A bit above 400. I think it's 440 actually. 440. And the head pressure is 1700. They just cut off. They will cycle back on. As you can see, head pressure's going up. And soon that'll cut back in, like just then. I don't even know if that's doing anything. As you can see, coming down again. That's it, like, that's a suction pipe temperature. That's, the evap temp is 4. That's 12. I need just a bit more gas. I need 2 hands. This is a new bottle, by the way. This way, like, you always need to go off superheat on a DOL unit. You can't just gas it up and go off pressures. You need to go off superheat. So So that's like 5k. That's 10 suction pipe temp. And that's about 500 kPa suction, which is 5 evap temp, 510, that's 5k. So I ended up putting an extra kilo in. The magic number's 8k, but this is with the fan cycling on and off. I've got that down to 5, sweating, and then when it's cycling it can go up to like 10. So I'm happy with that. And the discharge pipe temperature is low, which is because we did everything right. Honestly, man, like, I know I rave on about the strainers, but I wouldn't be taking the gas out of this thing without doing that and getting rid of these things that can leak. Like, this thing's good to go for another, like, still a long time. So the magic number for the discharge pipe temp is around 70. Now that's starting to go down, so yeah, we're sweet. Absolutely mint. Alright, all done. Cleaned that, got my fingerprints off, put my sticker on. They're now nice and cold inside, which is good. Might be back to sort out that, but everything else is all good. Beautiful.